Hello, Trekkies and Trekkers. Welcome to this amazing Star Trek podcast on Trek Tuesday. I'm your host, Arinda, and together with my lovely co-host, Amanda Hopper, we recap every 2 weeks an episode of Star Trek, starting with Star Trek TNG. All the episodes will be recap in chronicle following. We will approach each episode with humor and a feminine look. Today's recap is of the episode The Big Goodbye. Well, guys, once again, let me introduce you to Amanda, my co-host. Hi, Amanda.
Well, hello there. Are you guys being warm? Are you in your houses? Staying warm? Not getting cold? Because it was sure cold this morning. Woo!
So how cold was it?
This morning, some of you people probably are used to your warmer climates. It was negative. I think I said it was 24.8, I think it was this morning. But now, it's later in the evening. Last I heard, Mom told me, it was negative 14.
Okay. That's cold.
That's cold. Yeah. It's like, plus it was so cold this morning, I had to wear double socks. And I wore the big gloves I got for Christmas along with these little gloves underneath.
Okay. But
that's cold.
It is.
Yep.
Is it always that cold where you lived? At this time of the year?
Well, yeah, when it's winter time, it gets pretty cold, but then when thankfully spring and summer hits, the warmth will come around and I'll be okay with it for a few months. Then I despise the heat, which is really bizarre.
Well, I think that's only human because human always complains about the weather. If it is cold, they want warm. If it is hot, then they want cold.
Yeah, that's the way I am.
So, let's talk about this week's episode. It's The Big Goodbye. And it is, of course, a Dixon Hill episode.
Yeah.
The first one.
Holodeck.
Yeah. I must say I liked the episode.
Oh yeah, I loved it too because this whole episode was basically in the holodeck, while Riker and others were trying to figure out how to get him out of the holodeck, and dealing with this alien race that if you say something wrong, like in the pronunciation, they take it as an insult.
Yeah, and you know that reminds me a little bit when that episode of Enterprise when Jonathan Archer also needed to go to the alien, and also he had to do some culture things like sowing the tree, and well, that reminded me a little bit of this situation as well, only this of course is very different. And first of all, the language of this alien is very hard, and like you said, if you pronounce it wrongly, then it's immediately a insult. And in the beginning of the episode, we see Picard struggling with it.
Yeah, like he's trying to pronounce the, like, if it's an X, it's a Z or C or A or something like that, he said. And Beverly's, like, trying to help him out, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is so hard.
No, that
like,
was... that was after when she joined them in the Dixon Hill program. It was Counselor Troy who helped him in pronouncing the words, etc.
Right. Crap, I got the two mixed up. It was Troy that was helping him. And it was Bev that went into the holodeck with them. Crap, I keep forgetting. I keep getting the names mixed up sometimes. That's my brain. That's my brain. With ADHD, I mix names up or forget the person's name. Ugh.
So, Picard said, okay, I will go to the holodeck to relax a little bit. And he put the program of Dixon Hill on. And that was the first time we see, and they also tell us that it's the first time the holodeck is been used for recreation. After Picard went on the holodeck with this Dixon Hill program, he was so excited and impressed by what you will see, and he even had a meeting with the staff and telling them about it. And so the next time he went on the Dixon Hill program, he took some of the staff with them, like Data, and that was so fun. Data was asking, well, Captain, I like to commit you, and etc., etc., etc. And by the end of the episode, you hear him really talk like a mob will do. Like an Italian mobster. Yeah, gangster, yeah. I really loved that. But Data also compares the Dixon Hill with Sherlock Holmes.
Yep, he did. Another person that went was Bev. Like I said, Beverly went. And another guy that we first meet is a new guy that we meet is, I think his name's Waylon?
Yeah.
Waylon, because apparently he's also an expert on that type of subject, like Picard.
Yeah, it was really nice to see that Picard put himself in another role. And not only as, not as a captain, but as a private detective. And the whole 40, 50, 60s, when that time period is, it was very funny because later on when Beverly joined, you could see her mimic one of the women, how she have to act in that time period.
Yeah, it turns out the woman at the jail was not what you think she was at first. It turns out she's one of those ladies.
Yeah, and that is, and that's what I really do like about those episodes with the holodeck and Picard and Data when they do, for example, Dixon Hill or Sherlock Holmes. You can see that they really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, they do. And the thing that I like about the holodeck is when they were in, I think it was the 30s or 40s, you said, doing Dixon Hill, the attention to detail of the era, like with all the old-fashioned cars and the suits and the dresses. But I love the outfits they all wore onto the holodeck. But also, I love cars, and they had some nice cars.
Yeah, indeed. There was a moment then after that the Enterprise came in orbit on this planet and this new alien species, and they called themselves the Joharidan people. That was the moment that Riker contacted them and said, well guys, this is the point of, I'm the first commander, and we have a little problem, this and that, and the aliens were very, well, they didn't like it that Riker called them instead of the captain. So
yeah, they were irritated because they wanted to talk to the captain, not Riker, because the captain's higher up compared to Riker, and they would only talk to Captain Picard. So they were a bit irritated by that.
Yeah, and that was very, what I was thinking, okay, in one way it was a little bit of the ridiculous because that's not how Starfleet works, but okay. That was also the point that the Enterprise being scanned by them. And that was also the moment that they found out that there was something wrong with the holodeck.
Yeah, like when they scanned them, like not just the holodeck, everything was going a bit haywire at first. Went a bit haywire at first, but and mainly it just stuck to the holodeck having issues. Like the doors would keep swinging open or closed, whatever. When Bev tried to get through, she got through, then the doors closed for good until they were able to fix it. Then, like the holodeck itself, like the safety protocols were turned off too, because Whalen did get hurt during the episode.
Yeah.
Of that really creepy little gangster dude there, that, like, he was a lower on the totem pole.
He was so annoying.
He's like, Mr. Dixon Hill, I need to talk to you. Like, he was a squirrely little dude.
Yeah, he was really a how'd you say it? Someone who licked the asses of the bosses.
Yeah, he's basically a bootlicker.
Yeah.
Basically, is what he was. Like his boss was like a head honcho, and he was under his boss, so he's basically a bootlicker, like sucking up to his boss, basically. Bootlicker or butt licker.
Yes. So after the conversation, Riker wasn't too happy, and so he immediately said, "Okay, guys, we need to go and see what happened on the holodeck. We need to contact Captain Picard because we can't postpone this any longer." And Wesley said, "Well, sir, I have read all the manuals. I know a lot about it, and maybe I can be helpful." And Riker said, "No, your place is on the bridge," and blah 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 blah. And Diana Troy said then Riker, it's his mother too who is missing, so let the boy go and let him help. And you would think Geordi LaForge will solve this problem, but is once again Wesley Crusher who solved it.
Yeah, Wesley saves the day with his genius, his smart.
Yeah, and it was in a moment that later that they want to override the program, and Wesley said, "Well, sir, I don't think we need to do that, because if we override it and everything is disappearing, the people who are on it are also disappearing. So that means no Captain Picard, no Beverly Crusher, or the other members."
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one moment I really love, and that was when Beverly joined the program, and she was really dressed up in that time period, and when Picard saw her, his mouth dropped just on the floor.
Well, yeah, she was dressed really nicely in like it was like a kind of a short skirt, but not that short. And it was like a pink color along with like a pink top and a hat with this veil and the gloves and high heels, which I'm sure she had a hard time walking in.
Yeah, and it reminds me also of that episode of with that Moriarty was kidnapping Dr. Pulaski.
Yeah.
It is almost the same time period. Yeah, well, we already talked about that Data would be talking like an Italian mafia. Like a gangster. Oh, that was so funny. I really liked that. It was really funny.
He's like, "Hey, can I come too, boss?" Like, it was like, what the heck, Data? And he's like, well, he's in a holodeck. He thinks he has to be voicing like a gangster too. And he's like, okay, let him get away with it. Let him have his fun.
Yeah, the fun, and the weird part is that when they noticing that Data was different, Data became himself again and talked like Data. And but when he was just up in the story, he was talking like a gangster.
And on the streets there at the newspaper stand, the guy they were talking to was really confused about Data, and it was hilarious. And the guy running the newspaper stand, if I'm correct, I forget his name though, but I think he was in one of the Gremlins movies. I think that's him. I think he was in one of the Gremlins movies.
Okay.
And also, I think one of the Tremors movies. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that one. I don't remember if he was in Tremors or not, but yeah, the newspaper guy, that was hilarious. Just looks at Data and it's like, "Where are you from?" And I think one of them said, what else he said? They was from Brazil
South
or something
America.
like that?
South America.
Yeah, South America. Somewhere in South America, because he was so pale.
Yeah, so they wanted to come back and go to the Enterprise Bridge, but first they wanted to see Dixon Hale's office. And that was the moment that little weasel was already in his office. And that was the point that he is going to starting to kidnap them, and with the boss, and then Picard hit him. And that little wheel said, "Oh, you have no idea who I am and who I'm acquainted with, and blah blah blah." So
Yeah, and
first,
then he does come. He does come back later with the big guy. I think his name was Cyrus. Cyrus, I think his name was.
you
Yeah.
mean the big boss? The big
Yeah, Cyrus, I think his
boss
name was.
called. Let me see if I wrote it down. The name was Red Block.
That's it, Red Block. Cyrus was maybe the Weasley guy. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, can be yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think Cyrus was the Weasley little rodent guy, and Red Block was the big head honcho guy.
First they thought he was making a joke, and because they was thinking, okay, this was just a holo program, safety is on and nobody can get hurt. And that was the moment that the little weasel was shooting on what's his name? The guy that was new.
Holy crap! What was his name? I forget already.
Yeah, me too. I thought I wrote it down somewhere, but Waylon. His name was Waylon.
That's it. Waylon.
He shot Waylon, and that was the first time they saw that it wasn't a joke, because Waylon was hurt. He'd been shot. The question was immediately, "Oh, I need to get him to the sick bay." Yeah, they followed a conversation, and so that was also the point that they found out that there was something wrong with the program. There were, if you said, "Okay, computer, show the exit," there was no exit.
No, because when they normally would say it, the exit would show, but no, there was a major fault going on, because when they said computer exit, nothing showed up, and they're like, "Well, crap! What the heck is going on?"
Yeah, so Picardi started to call on Riker, but he couldn't get an answer. And meanwhile, Geordie LaForge and Wesley were doing everything they can. And I must say, I was a little impressed with Wesley, because normally you think, okay, this is Geordie LaForge area. Wesley did most of the help with to get the program offline. After this, Picard was trying to explain the gangsters that they were people from somewhere else and not from the holodeck. That was really weird, because normally you wouldn't do that.
Nope. And Waylon being shot, and Bev's trying to help him. And what was it? Beverly asked for some light so she could see better, and Data grabs the lamp. It becomes unplugged, and Data's like, "What the heck?" And then I think it was Picard plugged it back in for him. And he's like, "Oh, look, I fixed it," because he thought he fixed it himself just by tapping the bulb. Little humor in that part. It's like Data's like, "Oh, I fixed it."
And that was also really funny in the end of the episode. That one gangster was really rough against Data with everything, and also of Dixon Hill's friend, and the whole shenanigan was over, and Data was looking at him and asked Picard permission, and Picard said permission granted, and what was following, Data hit him so hard that he was floored on the ground, and he was saying, "Oh, that felt good," and then because
he also bent the barrel of the guy's gun too, which really surprised the guy.
Yeah, that was funny. I was coming up to that too. Yeah, it was really funny in the way of, dude, I'm an android. You can't hurt me.
Trying to punch Data would be like trying to punch a wall of metal and break your knuckles.
Oh, you remember that episode when those Klingons come on board Enterprise, and there was a Klingon who was daring Data and well, there was a little ritual about of Klingons, and then he had bugged Data and he fell down, and Data said, "Well, sir, this and this is made of out of my head, and this is my body thing. So why are you even trying?"
Like Data beat him in an arm wrestling contest too, and the guy's like, "Huh, really?" Just lifts Data up and goes, "Ching!" and he falls over, and he's like, starts laughing about it. I think too.
Yeah, that was funny as well. But they're still on the hollow deck, and Red Block and his men were saying, "Well, I don't believe this second world, and prove it to me." And that was the point that the exit appears, and it was Data. I love that Data did that. Data was daring them. Okay, if you don't believe him, step out this door and find another world. Indeed, they were. When they step out the holodeck, they disappeared.
Cyrus and the Weasel disappeared. Not Cyrus. Red Block and the Weasel disappeared.
Yeah, so that was in one way very funny because, yeah, they couldn't exist outside the holodeck.
Nope, because they weren't solid. They were fake. And I think they did that with another episode with the Moriarty character and the woman. They tried to tell him that he could not leave the holodeck.
Yeah.
So they threw a book out in the entryway, and it also dissolved. But eventually, Moriarty and his lady found a way. But there was a big twist in that episode with that one.
Yeah, I do like that, and also because not even the whole crew is involved with, but also Guinan is one of the mystical beings in there, and she said, "Well, about so many years I will see you again," and blah 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 blah. That reminds me, now we're talking about Guinan, I am very curious what she's going to do in Star Trek Picard Season 2.
I know. Yeah, what is she going to be doing in Season 2? That's what I like to know.
Because
it's going to be interesting.
I have some kind of a fan theory that is like, well, because Q is back, Q will, because for his own fun, will change Picard back into a human, and Garland will be there to guide or whatever, or step up to once again Q, and yeah, who knows what's going to happen. I'm very it's very interesting how it's going to develop.
Yeah, that's true. I forget, when does it air? I forget.
Wasn't it about something about March or May, or because I know the second part of Disco Season 4 will be airing in November.
Okay, so it might be in April or May. Who knows? Probably in the middle of the year, probably.
Yeah, probably. We will see. It's yeah, I think I must say yeah, I always have loved Picard right away, and I don't know in how far you already have seen Season 4 of Disco, but I really enjoyed it.
Well, I haven't been able to watch it yet because Dad likes to hog the TV. And I'm going to have to buy a Fire Stick so I can watch it.
So, we're coming to the end of the episode. So, Weyland, Picard said to Data, Data, pick up Mr. Weyland and bring him to sickbay. And that was so funny. It was like Data, it wasn't difficult for Data to pick him up. And
it's not hard for him to pick anyone up. He's got the muscle for it. He's an android. If it was a human, you'd have to have two people.
Yeah, and that is really maybe a little weird to watch, but okay. So the problem ends, thank God. So they rush to their position. Picard came to the bridge, and also Data. And so first of all, Picard did this conversation with those aliens. Although I must say, we never have seen those aliens, and it would be nice if they put an effort in it, how to show how they look like.
Yeah, it would have been really interesting to see what they actually looked like instead of just hearing them.
Yeah, and why are they so easily offended when you are pronouncing letters or words wrongly?
Yeah, they're very strict on how you pronounce things. They did. I mean, they were strict about pronunciation.
So Picard, he did well. He did well with that little conversation, and Data came on the bridge, and I thought it was Riker or Geordi who was asking Data, "Oh, how was it? Next time I'm going to join." And Data was immediately in his character, and would say something in the lines of how they talk in that time period. It was also Ken Picard who said, "Data, not now. Let's get out of here."
Yeah, and Picard's like, "Step on it." Instead of engage.
Yeah. He said that, yeah. That was very nice to hear him say something else. Not his normally phrase of engage.
Engage. Yeah, it was different.
But funny as well, because that was the tone that we'll be setting for like Sherlock Holmes and the one with Moriarty, and yeah, it's still something that it's very nice. We are at the end of this episode. Is there something you'd like to add, Amanda?
Well, what I liked with this episode, that it was the holodeck. You get to see more of it, and the details that were in the holodeck were really, really well done. Like with the buildings, the cars, which I love old-fashioned cars and stuff, and I go to car shows and I see some of those cars at the car shows I go to, and the outfits, Data's outfit, Picard's outfit, Wayland's outfits, and Bev's outfits. I love them. I love old clothes. I love like old cars, and it was like a really good episode.
It was. I really liked it too. It's just a shame that it was so short in it all. And wow, luckily we are going to see a lot more of those holodeck episodes.
Yep. There will be, and there's going to be one with Lexana and Worf's son.
Yeah, and also that Wild Western episodes with Alexander Worf and Data.
Yeah, Alexander Roshenko, I think his last name's pronounced.
We are going to have the habit in this season that we will ask you guys a question, so you can also comment on that on the comment below. And this time Amanda was the one who would think of the question, so go ahead, Amanda.
Alright guys, if you could go on the holodeck on the Enterprise, what is it that you would do on the holodeck? Would you ride horses like Picard would, go back to Earth style stuff like in the 40s or 50s, ride roller coasters? What would you do? I don't know what I'd do on there. I'm sure there's a lot of things you can choose from to do on a holodeck.
Yeah, there's a lot to choose of. And in Paris words, well, I'm a novel writer, so come on and check it out. the last thing we need to do is rating this episode. I would rate it like a 9.
Yeah, I would give it a 9 also. It was really good episode.
I think this was this for the episode. And we are going to see you guys in 2 weeks again. Let me check which one that is.
Data lore.
Data lore?
Yep.
Yes, there's data lore. Oh gosh.
It's a data and a lore episode.
Yay!
And it's a brother lore who causes mayhem and confusion amongst the crew. And chaos.
Most of it take chaos, I must
Yeah.
say.
He should have a bumper sticker on him. Chaos, panic, and disorder. My work here is done. I used to have one of those stickers.
Yeah, but there will be also a episode with Data and Lore that Data is the leader of the Borg. And that was a nice... I think that is even a 2-parter of...
Yes, it was. Descent. Descent was a 2-parter episode.
A nice one.
And you get to meet Hugh the Borg in an episode too, where him and Data.
Yeah.
And Hugh is played by Jonathan Del Arco. He was in season 1 of Picard, but they did him dirty in season 1.
Oh, it was very emotional, that meeting again with Picard. But I hated that they killed him off, and also with Ichab.
Oh, Ichab. Yeah.
I was really thinking, dude, we just see Ichab for the first time in years after Voyager. What the heck? Are you killed him?
I know. I was like I missed a lot of the Voyager, but I seen some of the clips that Ichab was in, but they had a different guy playing Ichab in Picard, and I'm like, oh, they killed the character.
Yeah.
Well, technically it was Jerry Ryan's character, 7 of 9, that kills Ichab to put him out of his misery.
Yeah, but that's what I really didn't like about it, is that she was like kind of mother figure for him. And and she called him also her child. And now she have to kill him because of what that the crazy doctor did.
Took his eye out.
Yeah, it's really, and that's what I also have. I don't know how many people think the same, but I was really, I don't want to say shocked, but I don't had a good feeling when they make Picard a synth.
Well, I guess Inagio put Picard's body in like a golem or something like that. Synthetic golem body, I guess you can call it.
Yeah. That's how they call it too, yeah. Yeah, Q is a bastard who would do that.
Q, he's a filmmaker.
This is the end of the episode of today's. Thank you again, Amanda.
Okay. Yeah, same to you.
It was lovely talking to you again.
Yeah, same here.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun again with the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
And
Data lore.
Data lore.
So, double the trouble.
Maybe.
Well, more or less, lore's like the bratty brother.
Bad guy, brother.
Yeah, Data's the brother that's well behaved and doesn't get in trouble in school. Then you got Lore, who causes so much shenanigans at school that he gets detention so many times and they expel him.
Well, we'll see you guys in about 2 weeks. And live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper, guys. Stay warm. Stay out of the cold.
Dear listeners, thank you for listening and join us in 2 weeks for a new episode recap. In the next episode we will recap the episode Data Lore. Girls Talking Track is also to listen, follow and subscribe on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the Facebook group and the YouTube channel. If you'd like to comment on this episode or talk with us about the Star Trek episode we just recapped, you can reach out on the Facebook group and the YouTube channel of Girls Talking Track. We will see you in 2 weeks. Live long and prosper!